Right, Holla Deal. Now during Staples Holla Deals, you can save up to $115 on the HP Smart Tank 6001 all-in-one printer with up to 2 years of original HP ink right in the box. Plus, find savings of up to 40% on select HP computers and monitors. Happy Holla Deals from Staples and HP, America's most trusted printer brand. Smart Tank offer ends 12/23. HP Tech offers end 1/6/24. Visit staples.com/HP for details.
Get your Good Neighbor events to us in writing 2 weeks before they occur. We'll put them on the radio and the internet. WGNS, AM, FM, and online. The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Good morning. This is Bill Krause on the Roundtable. A beautiful Thursday morning in Rutherford County, and getting close to Christmas. Santa Claus is gearing up the sleigh, and we're getting ready to have a great show. We're very, very pleased and delighted to have a return guest who was with us earlier this year, late last year, the Director of Schools for the Murfreesboro City Schools, Dr. Trey Duke. Trey, good morning.
Good morning.
This is one young man who we just thoroughly believe is the image of excellence in public administration today. We hear such great comments from not only parents, but men and women throughout this community about the excellence that you bring to the school district. So, tell us how the school district is doing, enrollments, in terms of growth, in terms of test scores, etc.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me today. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I truly count it a privilege to be the director of our school system. We are just, we're growing. We have a great school system, not just filled with great students and great families, but excellent administrators, amazing teachers, a support staff that's second to none. We're just doing great things. So we've off to a great start. You said Christmas is coming. We're looking forward to our winter break. That starts next Wednesday, the 20th. So we'll finish out this week, have a couple days next week, and then we're looking forward to some winter break time for sure.
I'm not so sure I would want to be an elementary school teacher Monday or Tuesday. The children are probably all geared up. They're all excited. It's probably almost like the day after Halloween when they're sugar high. Now they're Christmas high.
That's right. It's a great time of anticipation. It's a great time of the holiday season. We have all kinds of special programs going on, holiday lunches. So, it's a busy time, but it's a great time in our school system for sure.
One of the interesting things is when we mention growth, and teaching political science as I do, I've always stressed growth for growth's sakes is not necessarily a wonderful objective. Growth for quality's sake is an objective. Test scores, or first of all, a shout out to one of your principals who was recipient of a wonderful award.
That's right. Mr. Don Barch was just named Friday night, in fact, as the Middle Tennessee Principal of the Year as part of the State Teacher of the Year program. He was a finalist. They narrowed down all the Principals of the Year from every district in the state. 145 school districts get narrowed down. He was in the top 9 for Mid-Cumberland, and then made it Friday night, we found out, to the Principal of the Year for all of Middle Tennessee. They do one for each of the 3 grand divisions. We're incredibly proud of him. He was principal of Overall Creek last year, of course, opened that school, served there for 9 years. This year, he's actually transitioned up to our central office. He's the assistant superintendent of school operations, handling everything from transportation to school security to making sure the school system runs so we can focus on educating students. And he's doing a great job there, just like he was as Principal of the Year, as principal at Overall. So we're just incredibly proud of him and the representation he has for our district.
And that speaks so well. He's so reflective of the men and women that work for your district, not only the teachers, but the staff. Not only the staff, but the bus drivers.
That's right.
Each and every person. How many employees would you say approximately Murfreesboro City Schools has?
We have right at over 1,900 employees.
Wow.
Of course, that includes almost 800 certified positions, which are our teachers, our principals, our school administrators, our instructional coaches, interventionists, special education teachers. But then that also includes our bus drivers, as you mentioned, our school nutrition program, our maintenance team. We have a fantastic maintenance team that takes care of our buildings. We're proud of our extended school program that we offer before and after school. So we have employees there, and of course our substitutes as well. So almost 19, or a little bit over 1,900 employees that work in our district every day to help make sure that we're providing the best education for our students. And we really believe, at the core of what we do is to make sure our students gain academically. We've had a lot of success with that coming out of the pandemic and those academic gains. And but that doesn't just take the classroom teachers. It truly takes the school nutrition team to make sure those kids are fed and ready to learn. Our maintenance team to make sure that the temperature is right in our classroom. Our bus drivers so that parents have reliable transportation every day. It takes all of us to do that job and to meet our mission, and we're proud of our teams.
And the food?
Oh, food's great. We have a great, not just our cafeteria food. We are really excited. We're continuing to succeed. We have a great farm to school program.
Oh, talk about that.
Yeah, we currently have 4 farmer educators that we employ in the district. We have gardens at every school where we're growing. I think right now, with this time of the year, I may be wrong because I'm not a farmer, but okay. I think I went by the other day. We have a lot of tower gardens growing some lettuce and spinach and things like that. But all throughout the year, we grow food in those gardens. We serve it in our cafeterias. And so it's not just a chance to teach our students where our food comes from, especially for some of our students who live in the inner core of our city, but also for them to get some hands-on learning and then to see something go. We talk about plants in first grade. We talk about that process as part of our standards. For them to get out there and see it from a seed to fruition and then actually get to eat it in the cafeteria, it's a great learning experience for them as well.
Wouldn't it be neat if that conveyed over to the child bringing home the desire to have in a little corner in the backyard their own garden?
That's right.
And for them to nurture their own garden, to have, quote, it would be a commitment. We forget that agriculture still is a very significant importance, not only in Rutherford County, but throughout the state of Tennessee. So not necessarily that we're training people to be entering the agricultural field, but just the ability to, as you say, go from food to the table.
That's right. And we try and make sure our students have a really wide variety of experiences, especially in the extracurricular. Of course, we're really proud of the academic gains we've made the last few years coming out of the pandemic. In the past 2 years, our reading proficiency rates have risen almost 8%.
Fantastic.
Our math proficiency rates have risen almost 7%. So coming out of the pandemic, we know that our students are growing, and we are very proud of that. But we also know that our school system wants to give those other experiences, whether it's farm to school or whether it's our robotics team. So this Saturday, we are thrilled that at Overall Creek, we will have 9 of our schools competing in a robotics competition. These are elementary age students who are building robots, doing challenges, and getting that early introduction and experience with what it means to engineer, to do coding, and really be prepared for the jobs of the future. So we're really excited about that as well.
Please don't tell me that you're creating robotics to replace the teacher in the classroom.
Well, no, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Be. I mean, if you've got a shortage of candidates,
yes,
we may at least see a teaching assistant who's a robotic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now we're focused on making sure we have good, qualified, real people in front of our students every day. I think nothing ever, the success of our school system at the end of the day is about the people in that school system, and the classroom teacher is the most important piece of that. The classroom teacher is there to make sure that we can respond to students' needs, and we just have some of the best of the best.
How is, and we talked about this when you were here last time, how is the recruitment and the pool of candidates?
Well, we know nationwide that the recruitment and retention of teachers is something that's a nationwide challenge compared to when I got in this profession 20 years ago. It's very different. I'll never forget my first principalship. I was principal at a school, and we would post an open position, and it wasn't uncommon for me to have 150 applicants for that. And that's just not where we are right now, and that's not the climate of hiring educators. So we're having to be incredibly intentional, one, in making first sure that we are retaining our current employees, and I think that's really important. We have a lot of conversation about recruitment and bringing new people in, and that's also important, but the first step is to make sure that we are retaining keeping the great employees we have. So we're always making sure we have an eye on that and focused on that. We have a great partnership, though, with MTSU. Of course, being in our backyard, they're an incredible partner for us as we look to help make sure that we have quality teachers to put in front of students. One of the things we're really proud of is we've worked with them in several different ways to help find teachers who don't have teaching credentials. Maybe they have a college degree in marketing. Maybe they had a college degree in communications, and through their own children or through volunteering in schools have found a love for teaching. And we've got several programs that we work with MTSU to help those those people who don't have teaching certificates go back to MTSU in a really cost-effective way, short-term, to earn those teaching certificates so they can teach. So I encourage anyone, if you've ever wanted to be a teacher, maybe you already have a college degree, maybe you're halfway through a college degree, give us a call. We most likely have a pathway through our great partnerships that can help get you in a classroom.
Fantastic. And matter of fact, the salary levels have gone up. Correct me if I'm wrong, that the state of Tennessee recently approved additional funding?
That's right. They did do additional funding. We've raised our salaries again this year, and I'm sure our board will make that a priority next year as well. We have a great starting teacher salary, and of course, we pay for additional degrees. We pay for years of experience. We're really pleased to not just say we have a great salary for teachers, but we work really hard to make sure they have really great benefits. And of course, there's other benefits to teaching as well, whether it's the schedule for those that have children at home, that you do have this opportunity to be able to shut down over Christmas if you're a classroom teacher. Now, I'll tell you, they work really hard.
Yes, they do.
And I always say that summer is usually spent doing professional development and training, so the next year is better. Of course, we also offer a full-time summer school now, so many of our teachers are working all through the month of June teaching summer school as well. School doesn't shut down anymore, right?
Sure.
And we're always doing something. We are always busy.
Well, it's interesting. Education in recent years has got a bad rap. Certainly cases come across, and is this what they're teaching in the school? Is this what a president of university says? It gets a bad rap. On the other hand, the thousands of men and women who have chosen education not as a job, and I think it's very important to say it's not a job, it's a calling. You have to have the special love. See a child develop, see a child succeed, see the results of your efforts, and to see a child gain the attribute of reading and math and science and so forth is something that is more than a paycheck.
Absolutely. And our teachers are really invested into our students. And that's really what we're about is we take our job seriously. If people have ever heard me talk, whether it's at Rotary clubs or different community events, I always say one of my core beliefs is that strong public schools that are open to all make strong communities. And that's really important. The future of Murfreesboro really depends on the job that we're doing in the school system. We take that challenge to heart, and our teachers do. And our teachers know that the students in their classroom are going to be the future elected leaders of this community.
Sure.
They're going to be the future business owners of this community. And our teachers are from this community, right? They're invested in this community as well. And I think we all are around that common mission of making sure that we leave Murfreesboro a little better than we found it. And that really starts with how we treat our students in our schools.
And your children go into the county schools upon completion?
That is correct. We feed into the county school system. We have a great partnership with them. And I think that's one of the unique things about not just Murfreesboro, but Rutherford County as a whole, is the fact that we have two really highly effective, strong public school systems that are working together to make sure that our students are successful.
Taking a little topic that may be in a slight level of controversy, but we don't want to go controversial, subject material.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how is subject material created? What's curriculum creation? What kind of input do you get for curriculum creation?
Yes, I think it's a really important question. I think sometimes it's an area that may be misunderstood because a lot of times the news we absorb is at a national level. And so I always tell people what they're teaching or curriculum materials they're using in Washington, D.C. or in San Francisco or in Chicago or even in Tallahassee may not be what we're using here in our state. So first of all, our state government and our state Department of Education creates standards that outline what we need to teach and what students need to know to be successful in that grade level. Those standards are created by Tennessee educators, Tennessee stakeholders, Tennessee individuals who are appointed by the governor and people in the legislative body. From there, the state outlines several different curriculums that can help us reach those standards. So they may say, a few years ago we adopted reading materials, and they may say here are 6 or 7 different reading materials that we believe will help you teach those standards. Again, that those materials are chosen by Tennesseans and people that live here in our state, know our values, know the kind of community we want to build here. And then from the school level, we are able, or the district level, we're able to choose from those state materials. So if the state says here are 6 different reading materials, we may choose one of those to adopt in our district. And again, we do that with lots of feedback. We open all that up to parents. So anytime we go through a textbook adoption process, we have materials open for any family that wants to come and look and provide feedback. And we encourage them to do that. Our teachers are the ones that ultimately select the materials through a voting process and a rigorous process of narrowing it down for our students to use. Next year, we're going to do that process with science, and we'll make sure our parents are informed and encourage them to come out, look through the science materials, give us feedback on it to help us make that really important decision.
Well, this brings us to the topic of parent involvement. Not only parent involvement within the schools, parent involvement with the child. The linkage between a parent and a child to encourage, motivate, support, and assist in education is probably a top priority for any parent.
Absolutely.
No matter what age group the child may be in. One problem is, as a parent and as a grandparent, I could never keep up with the child's curriculum.
Well, as a parent who now have my own child is in high school and we're going through algebra, let's just say I've had to dust off some old textbooks of myself to make sure I can help him with his homework.
Absolutely. Talk about parent involvement within the schools.
So, we really believe that we want parents to be a partner with us. I believe that parents are a child's first teacher, and the parent is the child's most important teacher that they're ever going to have. And so we want to partner along with them to do that work. We offer a lot of different parent opportunities. We encourage parents to be involved. Whether it's to whatever extent they can. We have many schools that have very active PTOs, and parents are at the schools on a weekly basis. We have other parents like myself who work full-time. And so our involvement level is making sure that we're staying engaged in the child's work, that we know what's coming up, we know how to support them at home. And so we want to provide opportunities for engagement any way that we can for parents. One of the things we're really excited about is in the spring, we're going to be launching some new parent training specifically to help parents tackle some topics and to make sure their child is prepared. Our focus this first semester has really been on parent-teacher conferences, making sure parents are aware of what's going on in the classroom. And I'm also thrilled to say we have a partnership with United Way. And we hosted what we call the Born Learning Academy, which was a 6-week parent engagement session we did for future students, parents whose students or children are preschools, to help them understand what's coming up. So we're always looking for ways to have our parents come alongside of us, and really us come alongside the parent, because again, we believe that parent is that first teacher, and we want to support them in that work.
Fantastic. When we relate to parent, let's talk security. That certainly has been an issue in the last number of years, security in schools.
Yeah. Again, I always say parents want their students to learn how to read. They want their students to learn how to do math. But at the end of the day, they want their child that they dropped off in the morning to come home. And as we think about, obviously, the news and all that's happened, that's something that we're always keeping front of mind. We don't really talk about specifics when it comes to security, except to say it's something that is always a pressing issue for us, and we are constantly reevaluating what we have going on, what security pieces we have in place, and how we make it better.
This is Bill Krause on the Roundtable. Thursday morning, we're having a wonderful and delightful conversation and visit with Dr. Trey Duke, who is the Director of Schools for Murfreesboro City Schools, giving us a lot of the insight, and we will be right back.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
Hey, it's Scott. When it comes to health, there are numbers that every man needs to know, including your testosterone number. I recommend Low T Center, where they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get your results in about 25 minutes. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. They can cause a lack of motivation and drive. It can raise your cholesterol, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hi, this is Bob Cornell, pastor of Covenant Church right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The answer that you've been looking for is found in Jesus and what he accomplished at the cross. You see, Jesus changes lives from the inside out. We would love for you to join us at Covenant Church, located at 1124 Brinkley Ave right here in Murfreesboro. We have services Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. You can learn more about us at our Cornell Ministries YouTube channel. We want you to grow in Christ at Covenant Church.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the law offices of John Day. I've lived and worked as a lawyer in Middle Tennessee for over 30 years, and to me, every single day has been an honor. That's why our firm is so involved with community programs like bicycle helmet giveaways and our Safe Ride Home program. At the law offices of John Day, we're not just looking to make donations. We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too.
WGNS reminds you to soak in the holiday season. Merry Christmas to you from your Good Neighbor station. Special activities at the Stones River Battlefield commemorating its 161st anniversary. Those are held Tuesday through Friday, December 26th through the 29th. And the New Year's Day 5K is at Barfield Crescent Park, New Year's Day, January 1st at 10 in the morning. And during this season, why don't you help others? Give blood to the Red Cross. Save a life. You can't do better than that. Phone the Red Cross and make an appointment at a time that fits your schedule. Phone 800-RED-CROSS. And here's a great place for some handmade Christmas gifts. The White Oak Holiday Bazaar at the Arts Center of Cannon County over in neighboring Woodbury. It's going on now, Tuesday through Saturdays to December 22nd, 10 until 4 each day. That's the White Oak Holiday Bazaar at the Arts Center of Cannon County, 1424 John Bragg Highway. This is the final weekend for White Christmas at the Center for the Arts. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Good Neighbor weather. We'll see sunny skies here this afternoon with a high in the low 60s. Northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low near 28. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 38.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. MTE's Plugged In podcast focuses on the world of electric vehicles. Stay up to date on the EV world, hear interviews with experts, and more. Listen on your favorite podcast platform or visit mte.com/pluggedin.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
Hello again, Bill Krause, Thursday Morning Roundtable, and we're visiting this morning, a beautiful morning, with Dr. Trey Duke, who is the Director of Schools for Murfreesboro City Schools. One more point about parent involvement. You wanted to give them a number to reach out?
Oh, absolutely. Best thing to do is go to our website, cityschools.net. There's an Ask MCS button. Click there if you have questions, concerns, want to know how to get better involved into your child's school. Go to our website. It's the easiest way to get in touch with us.
You know, I always say on parent involvement, anytime your child's in an event, whether it's a Christmas performance, whether it's a sporting event, whether it's a open house, always consider that priority to attend.
Yeah.
A child appreciates so much when their mom or their dad or the mom and dad are there. It's just supportive that they never forget. You have a new program that just opened up or is opening up.
Yes, we're excited. Our Cason Lane Pre-K building opened up this year. You know, obviously our district is growing, and we're always looking at space issues. And one of the areas that we want to continue to make sure we're providing great access to families and great programming is with our pre-K students, those students right there before kindergarten. And one of the things we were looking at is how do we, as we look at our kindergarten through sixth grade growth, how do we make sure we have space for pre-K as well? So last year we had a partnership with the city of Murfreesboro, and they assisted us in purchasing what was a daycare on the west side of town on Cason Lane, and we're using it as an annex from Cason Lane Elementary. And it hosts and has in there 8 pre-K classrooms. Wow. It's a whole building dedicated for pre-K. That's just one part of our pre-K program. We have over 20 pre-K classrooms district-wide, but we did not have adequate classrooms on the west side of town. Mm-hmm. So this gave us classrooms on that side of town. It's a great facility. The city has just been a tremendous partner with us in making that building ready for our students. And I was just there on Monday walking through. I say it's, you got a building full of almost 160 pre-K students. It's a great way to start your morning. So we're really excited about that. Not only did it allow us to move pre-K classrooms on that side of town, but it also allowed us to free up some classrooms in our traditional school buildings to continue to address the growth we're seeing.
What's the minimum age for pre-K?
So for our traditional pre-K, we have 2 different pre-K programs. It's 4. If your child is a child that has special needs, then we do offer services beginning at 3 for students who have special needs. And if you, of course, or maybe you're not sure if your child has some special needs, or if you've talked to your pediatrician, again, go to our website, reach out to us. We have a program called Child Find where we're always making sure we want to intervene early. So if your doctor has begun talking to you about maybe there's some possible developmental delays, reach out and we can talk about how we can get your child into a pre-K earlier.
Your website access is?
cityschools.net.
That's so easy, cityschools.net. Can't forget that.
That's right.
We didn't ask you this before when we talked about number of employees. Number of students enrolled currently, number of schools that you have under your wing.
That's right. So we are currently, we've topped 9,400 students. Wow. And we're growing. So we are getting close to that 9,500 students. I do expect next year we could be knocking on the door of over 10,000 officially. That's pre-K through 6th grade. There's 145 school districts in Tennessee, and I tell people Murfreesboro City pre-K through 6 is the 21st largest in the state. We compete with Collierville City Schools to be the largest municipality school district in the state of Tennessee. So again, growing. We've grown this year about 1.5% from where we were this time last year, which is actually slightly lower than our trend. Mm-hmm. Historically, we grow about 2.5% a year. Which is tremendous growth for a school system. But that's something we're watching. A lot of our growth, and the majority of our growth, of course, is happening on the west side of town, out Veterans Parkway, St. Andrews, that area of town. Of course, lots of new homes going out there. And so that's an area that we're watching very closely to make sure that we can meet the needs of those students.
And with that, you're continually having to rezone where students go to the schools of their location?
Yeah, and that's the thing that we really don't like doing. We
Sure.
do not like to rezone because that really impacts a family. And I don't know if anyone in education, from a classroom teacher to a school board member, that likes
Sure.
to have a conversation about rezoning. But when you're in a district that is in a city that's growing as much as ours is, that's something we have to address and have to be looking at. So 2 years ago, we actually went through a rezoning, moved some students in some schools. We tried to keep it as minimal as we can. But, as you know, the county schools are about to go through a major rezoning. We will most likely have to begin having a conversation about how do we make sure we're utilizing our buildings to maximize space. And that's really important. If we're going to go to the city council or the taxpayers and say, hey, we really need to start talking about building a new building, we want to make sure that we've done everything we can to maximize that space, because that's not a small endeavor to do.
What's your average enrollment per classroom?
So we try and keep it that 20-to-1 ratio, pre-K through 6. Of course, the state limit is 20-to-1 with no classroom above 25. We like to be slightly under that. At the 4th through 6th grade, it's a 25-to-1. We try and keep K6 at that 20-to-1 ratio just to make sure we're meeting the needs of those students. Of course, sometimes that fluctuates a little bit, but we're staying pretty consistent with that.
Any new schools on the drawing board at this point?
Well, I'll just say we're watching the west side very carefully. So, our board has had that conversation, and we're just continuing to look at our enrollment, make sure we're watching what's happening there, looking at every option we can, and then when the time is right, we'll start having that conversation.
How about a shout out to the bus drivers? We take them for granted. We see the big yellow bus go by, and we just think, oh, okay, they're picking up the kids. That's a huge responsibility.
Man, is it a huge responsibility. And we've seen that number grow up. We've had about a 40% increase in our number of students who ride buses in the last 2 years. We have about 5,500 students who ride a bus every day inside the city limits. 34.
That's over 50% of your enrollment.
Sure, yeah. 30.
Wow.
We have 34 what we call traditional buses, the big yellow buses. We have 13 additional special education buses. We're actually looking at some other transportation options, including even vans. We have some students that, because of certain situations in their families, maybe have to live in a certain area, and we try and transport them. So our bus drivers do tremendous work. I'll be out driving in the morning if I go to the gym, coming back, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll drive by a school, and I see those red lights flashing as they're doing their checks, and then I'll be coming home 5:15, 5:30 at night, and they're pulling those buses back in. So we are so thankful for them. Our goal with transportation is really about providing reliable service to our parents, that they know, again, I'm a working father, my wife's a working mother, and we depend on school transportation to help make sure it's there, and we need that to be consistent. That's becoming more and more difficult, as we know there are huge bus driver shortages nationwide. At the beginning of the school year, it was hard to turn on the news and not hear a story about bus drivers.
How does somebody become a bus driver and qualify?
Hey, reach out to us. Again,
Okay.
I'll say go to our website. It's a great job. We're also really pleased that we have bus aides that are on the majority of our buses. So that allows and that's something that's not in every district and something we're proud of, but it allows the driver to drive, and it allows a bus aide to kind of help. At the end of the day, students can be a little squirrely sometimes, so we got to have to watch that. But we will train you. We will help make sure you're prepared. We will do everything we can to get you behind the wheel, and then while you're training, we will let you ride the bus as one of our bus aides, and so kind of start making some money right away. It is a great job, and if you don't want to do it full time, we always are looking for sub drivers we can call. And I'm really excited to say the state of Tennessee has passed a law. So if you were a bus driver for many years and maybe retired as a bus driver and are anxious to do something, there's a new law that allows bus drivers to come back and work and still draw 70% of their retirement. Wow. And so, hey, earn full pay, draw retirement. It's a great job.
Does that still apply to retired teachers as well?
Absolutely. So we have some great retired teachers who have come back to work with us because the state, again, they've made it really easy for retired teachers to come back, continue to draw that retirement, make full teacher pay, and work for us for the year. And we are always encouraging retired teachers to come back and help us out.
Have many taken advantage of that wonderful opportunity?
Absolutely. We have a list of some great ones that we'll call. Teachers have babies. They go on maternity leave. People have personal situations that may cause them to be out of the classroom. And so we are so thankful for our retired teachers who come back and help us do that work.
Back to busing. The question is always asked, who makes the decision and how's the decision made to have no school due to snow or ice.
Well, the time of the year is coming,
Yes, it
we've
is.
been watching it closely. I keep hearing rumors that it's going to be a snowy winter. January and February really are the times for us that we're really attuned to that. So ultimately, I say good, bad, or ugly, the call is mine. So if you're happy with me, that's my call. And if you're upset that we canceled school, that's my call as well. But it comes with a whole lot of input. So obviously, our school operations team is out driving roads early in the morning. I'll get out and drive those roads early in the morning. We have a great partnership with Murfreesboro Police Department. So they will keep us updated on wrecks and things like that. It's never a perfect science. We're always trying to make the best decisions about how our buses can move those 5,500 students. And we're always going to err on the side of safety. And we want to make sure that if we put your child on a school bus, we are confident that we can get them to school as safely as possible. But we also know that when we cancel school, it is a huge inconvenience sometimes for families.
Sure.
But we got to put the safety of the students first.
Speaking of safety, and I know we talked earlier about it, but safety as far as weather and weather events. We just went through a very sad and critical tornado experience north of Nashville. Do we have safety training in the event we get a tornado alert and tornado awareness?
Absolutely, and we have a safety coordinator in our district. We have a great safety coordinator. That's his full-time job. A lot of times when you think about school security and safety, we're talking about those unimaginable events of an armed intruder getting into the school. But our safety plans are much more broad than that. They cover tornadoes. They cover power outages. They cover any kind of weather event that may call for us the need to relocate schools or to do something specific while a weather event is going on. What happened north of us is just really, just a really tragic event for those families. And of course, that's disrupting their whole life and will for some time. But it's not just tornadoes. I think it was last year or 2 years ago, I believe, Humphreys County suffered some catastrophic flooding one weekend.
Yes.
Really took a toll on some of their schools. So there's all kinds of things that we're preparing for, and to make sure that our parents know that we're practicing that. So whether it's a tornado drill, fire drills, armed intruder drills, lockdowns, lockouts, we're doing all of that.
And the teachers are getting total trained on this and how to respond, or hopefully respond in a very successful and effective manner.
Absolutely. We have mandatory trainings that we do at multiple times during the school year so that teachers feel the best informed to make the right calls as they need them.
In a deeper question, and this covers all of education, we take a look at the world the last number of years. We take a look at society the last few years. We take a look at values, morals, ethics the last few years. We take a look at crime and events the last few years. How do you think, just as an overview, just as a generalization, as a wonderful educator, how do you think the behavior and mindset is of today's young men and young women?
Well, I think at the core of it, kids are kids, and probably the things that I did as a child, whether it's who I played with and what I did outside, some of those basics of childhood don't really change. I think what changes is, obviously technology is a much bigger player than it was in the past, and I think we're having to understand the impact that that's having on our students. Our students in our building right now really are some of the COVID generation students that, for our youngest students in pre-K and kindergarten, were at home during the pandemic and during the shutdown. For our older students, they missed a significant portion of traditional schooling, and it was disrupted during the pandemic. So at the core of it, students are students and kids are kids, and I don't think much of that has changed. I do think we've seen some additional needs from our students, whether it's because of COVID or just society as it is, that we're wanting to make sure that we are addressing, and that's really those social emotional supports, making sure students can regulate themselves. And not all students have situations in lives that are trauma-free. We have students that unfortunately have parents that pass away. We have students that may be living with a foster family temporarily. We want to make sure those needs are met as well, and that's been a real focus for our district. I'm thrilled to say that a couple years ago when we wrote our strategic plan, we wanted to, and our board set the priority to have a mental health therapist in every school to help students who may be going through those traumatic events, whether it's the divorce of a family, whether it's the death of a beloved grandparent, whether it's a medical diagnosis they were dealing with. And this year, in 12 of our 13 schools, we have a mental health therapist every day to help meet those kids' needs, both so they can access the academics. Again, our goal, let's teach them to read, let's teach them to do math, let's make sure they understand how science works and understands our history as a country through our social studies program. But we can't do that if they're dealing with trauma. And so we want to make sure we're addressing those needs and giving them access if parents choose to take that.
Most hopefully this is being done in districts throughout the country.
Yeah, we've and I can't take credit for this. Our former director of schools here in Murfreesboro City, Dr. Linda Gilbert, she really had a passion for making sure that students had access to mental health care if they needed it, and helped that we teach students how to behave, and we teach students what is appropriate. And she was a leader in that, and we've tried to carry that mantle.
This is Bill Krause on the Roundtable Thursday morning, having a delightful visit with Dr. Trey. Duke. Oh, I was already going to sing Duke of Earl, Trey Duke. And we will be right back.
Cover my assets insurance group.
Is your life insurance tied to your job? Call us today at Cover My Assets Insurance Group, and we can find you a private policy that you own rather than being tied to your job. We have many options and coverage types to choose from. Call us today at 615-345-0411 or find us online at covermyassets.com. Protect yourself and your loved ones from the unexpected. That's covermyassets.com.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
This is Mike Cutter, owner of the award-winning family-owned home care agency, Honey Hill Home Care, the non-medical home care agency for seniors in Murfreesboro. Don't let worry consume your family. Experience the difference at Honey Hill Home Care. Check us out online, honeyhillhc.com.
Here at Bud's Tire, we make buying Michelin tires simpler. I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We offer a straightforward approach to service, including nationwide warranties with every purchase. Stop in today to see our full lineup of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. For whatever you drive, Michelin and BF Goodrich have a tire to fit any need. Bud's Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstireprostn.com.
'Tis the season for all of my favorite treats. Now, where are Grandma's homemade holiday cookies? Hold up. Where are Grandma's cookies?
Easy, Joe. Grandma brought something even sweeter this season.
Your triple fudge brownies?
No, Joey. Holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery.
Made from scratch holiday wins? Grandma, you're a genius.
Give the gift of holiday instant games topped with sweet cash prizes. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Oh, what game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
This is Pastor Nikki Ajapong, the lead pastor of Holy Hill Chapel in Murfreesboro.
Hear our sermons on WGNS every Sunday night at 7:30.
Everyday life, never take it for granted.
Visit Holy Hill Chapel, TN.org to hear our podcast.
It's a blessing.
It's the holiday season, and Famous Footwear is stocked with all the styles your family wants from the brands you love at prices that fit everyone's list. Shop the comfiest Hey Dude shoes and coolest Crocs, or snag the perfect pair of Bear Paw boots and slippers. Plus, for a limited time, find the latest Nike styles for the whole family at savings of up to 30% off. Shop famous.com or bring the whole family into a Famous Footwear near you and spread some cheer this holiday season with the gift of famously great shoes. Valid on select styles.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
This is Bill Krause for the third and final segment of this beautiful Thursday morning at the Roundtable WGNS. And we are having a visit with Dr. Duke from the Murfreesboro City Schools, Dr. Trey Duke, who has been sharing with us some wonderful information, insight, and certainly some objectives that makes the school district next to the very best, I guess I could probably say. The next few moments, I'm going to let you just talk about what you'd like to talk about.
Oh, well, we have so many great things going on in the school system that we want our families to know about when we come back in January. Of course, we will be gearing up toward finishing up our school year strong. It's hard to believe that this school year, the 23-24 school year, is almost over, but we will be gearing up in January for that. Some things parents may want to be aware of is our Discovery School applications. The Discovery School, of course, is our academic magnet school here in the heart of Murfreesboro. It's an excellent school, great history there. Those applications are being accepted right now. So many people think about that for our incoming kindergarten students. Of course, that's the biggest number that we take, but we always have availability in other grade levels as people move in and out. And then in the upper grade levels, we open up a few more seats. So if you're interested in having your child assessed to see if they would be a good candidate to attend the Discovery School, we really encourage you to go to their website or the City Schools website to find out more about that. Those applications, we're accepting them now. We have one more open house. We've had 2 open houses so far, but on January 11th will be our final open house if parents want to go by and see the school. It's just a tremendous building, such a great history, and so many great things that are happening in that campus and all of our campuses. So parents might want to be looking out for that for sure. And then, of course, in the spring, as well as we begin to look at next school year, we will be talking about applications if parents want for some reason to look at getting a zone waiver for maybe a school that's outside of their traditional school. Maybe it's better for their transportation, it's better for their working environment where there's another school in our city that they want to look at. We will begin posting that information probably in February or March, where they can go and see what schools have open seats. And we do have a policy that allows parents to put in zone waivers for schools that have open seats in for sure. So we want to make sure they have that.
What are some of the other extracurricular programs? Theatrical, music, early sports?
Yes, absolutely. So we just finished up our basketball league. We have a basketball league that we do with our 4th through 6th graders. That ended. Congratulations to the Bradley Bobcats, the boys team who won the district championship, and the Hobgood Rockets, the girls team that won that championship. So we do offer that. We offer a lot of clinics extracurricular wise. So we have, again, great partnerships with MTSU. So earlier last semester, we actually did a pickleball, and basketball clinic over at Case and Lane Academy. We have redone the tennis courts at Case and Lane and in Erma-Siegel. Later this year, we will be redoing the tennis courts at Discovery School to make them more usable, basketball, pickleball, things like that. Of course, as I said, we've talked about robotics. We're very proud of our robotics program. 9 of our 13 schools have the designation of a Tennessee STEM school, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Again, focused on preparing students for the jobs of tomorrow. So our robotics teams, our STEM schools are all very important that we're wanting to make sure they're aware of. We actually have more certified STEM schools than any district in the state of Tennessee.
That's fantastic.
And I talked about farm to school. That's also jobs of tomorrow. We know that ag business is one of the top employment opportunities in the nation. So we also, for our students who are interested in those agricultural realms, to make sure they have those experiences as well. A lot of great things going on. Bradley Academy is our performing arts school. So in the spring, they'll be doing their spring production. Last weekend, they did their winter showcase over at Patterson Park at the Washington Theater there, and we're looking forward to their performance as well. Of course, choir is big. Sorry, I'm going to keep talking about all the things we're offering. We have choir, so we'll do a spring choir festival. So our goal is to find something for every student. If it's performing arts, if it's athletics, if it's engineering and robotics, we want our students to be involved. And our extended school care program offers a variety of activities. When my son was in the elementary school, one of his favorite things was in our ESP program. They do culinary arts and do some cooking and things like that. So we always are looking for opportunities to provide interest for all of our students.
Have you ever been able to track what's happened to some of your students even when they've gone past high school into college?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I would encourage families to go and check out our Facebook page. Our communications team, specifically around Discovery School, has been doing some spotlight of current professionals who are graduates of the Discovery School to kind of show where the career path that really strong public education system started them on. So we have veterinarians, we have people that are working in communications and in different fields that we are looking at. I'm really proud of the teachers that we hire that went through our city schools.
Wow.
That's also really exciting. Great. I love to talk to our teachers that were students in our city schools program. And so, yes, we do try and keep an eye on that. But if you go to our Facebook page, our communications team is often doing spotlights on what our graduates are doing.
Taking the other side of the curtain, tutorial for children who are in need of special tutorial, helping them grasp, helping them understand, helping them learn.
Yeah, we have a full, we work with students in all different kind of capacities. So if a student has behavioral needs, we're going to provide intervention there. If a student has academic needs, we're going to do that as well. As I mentioned earlier, that starts as young as 3 years old. Wow. If a student has special needs, that we can start providing services for them. And really, it's a continuum. If you look at a third grade student, we say we have some students that need a little bit of help, and we have some students that need more intensive supports. And we offer that whole array of services for students. We also have a gifted program for students who maybe have those challenges and have those needs, where their ability level needs additional support and they need additional pushing and additional challenge because of the fact that they may be a high-achieving student. We have a gifted program that trains our teachers on how to work with those students as well. So no matter what the needs are, we offer that continuum of support to make sure we're meeting the needs of all of our students.
As our population grows, it grows in intensity, it grows in diversity. Is ESL a significant aspect of your program?
I'm sorry, which
ESL?
Yes, absolutely.
English is a second language.
Absolutely, that we continue to grow. In fact, I have a position posted right now because those numbers have increased in the last few months, and we need to make sure we have that fully staffed. So we're actually having a growth position we have posted right now. But we do know that we serve a really diverse student population. Murfreesboro City Schools recently was named the #2 most diverse school district in Middle Tennessee.
Really? Wow.
And Mitchell Nelson Elementary was identified as the most diverse public elementary school in Tennessee.
Really?
So we have students from lots of different backgrounds. We think that diversity is a strength for us, and really, again, it shows the future of what our community will be. And so English as a second language, our English language learners, we are working with those students and making sure that they're also prepared to have success. And we want to make sure that they're set up to be great members of our society and community as well, and they get full access to that education.
The success and achievement of a director of schools such as yourself can also be attributed to the elected officials, the school board. Do you want to do a shout out to your board?
You know what? I am so proud of our school board. I think
you may even name them by name.
I will, absolutely. Our chairman, of course, Mr. Butch Campbell, our vice chair, Mr. Jimmy Richardson, Mr. Wes Ballard, Mr. David Settles, Miss Amanda Moore, Miss Barbara Long, and Miss Karen Dodd. 7 people who are just tremendously dedicated to our students and their success. And when I think about our school board, what sets our school board apart probably from many other school boards is they have one agenda, and that one agenda is to make sure our kids are taken care of and make sure our teachers are taken care of. And they truly love education, and they truly care about our schools. And it makes my job tremendously easier. They really are partners. They really push us to think about how we can do our job better. And I can say we are definitely a better district because of our elected officials.
When and where does the board usually have its regular meetings?
We meet twice a month. We meet the second and the fourth Tuesday. Usually those are always at City Hall. Those are open meetings to the public, of course, at 6 o'clock. We'd encourage people to come out, see the business of the board. We always build in some celebrations there as well to make sure we celebrate our employees and always inform the board on what's happening in our school system. So, second and fourth Tuesday of the month. You can find us there or at our central office.
Our final question, if you had a magic wand to make the district perfect in the next 5 years, what would that magic wand touch?
Well, you know, man, what would that be? I think what it would be is just continuing to make sure that we are all able to give our teachers the support they need to do their job well, whether that's professional development, whether that's the money they need, making sure they are taken care of, because we believe we're going to do what's best for kids. And I think the best thing we can do for kids is to make sure they're surrounded by healthy, trained, and really well-supported adults. So taking care of our teachers is going to help us meet our goals with our kids.
And you know what's so important, we always say this, of course, for people seeing people in the military, people in law enforcement, first responders. Next time you see a teacher, do thank them for their service. It's so important.
Especially right now when it's Christmas and it's crazy. You said it, right?
I'm not sure whether Santa Claus will remember every teacher, of course. And the whole world of education certainly is going through a revolve. As we still have a moment or two, has TikTok had an influence on students, good or bad?
Well, you know, I think social media is something we're trying, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, we're trying to navigate and make sure it's obviously changed how we address certain things, as oftentimes positive and negative, what happens on social media bleeds into the school classroom. So we're always working with our administrators to make sure we're responding to that as best we can.
Dr. Trey Duke, the Director of Schools, Murfreesboro City Schools, certainly a pure and true asset for this community. Every man and woman, parent or grandparent, should give you a big, hearty thanks for truly a job well done, and we look forward to continued great friendship. Merry Christmas to everybody in the Murfreesboro City Schools, as well as throughout the area. We will see you next week.